The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys!
This is the Players Lounge, broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star. Now, your hosts, Barry Church, Danny McCray, Heckma Harrison, and Newy Scruggs.
Players Lounge. Let's ride.
Right on.
Heckma Harrison is here. Danny McCray is here. I'm Newy Scruggs. And the man who picked the Buccaneers is not here today. Barry Church. I know he was here yesterday, but I was flying back. So I was, waiting to talk to Church, but Church is out today.
He's trying to get his alignment right, bro. Because he said something was off. He was like short-circuiting or something because he's been making bad picks. He was 0 for 3 on this weekend.
He's trying to get his chakras.
Yeah, trying to get
his chakras
and out. Get an alignment. You know what I'm saying? So he can make the right pick.
He got to energize his crystals.
On the 13th hole somewhere as he's swinging close.
Right.
Okay.
Boom.
Yeah, nice day. Don't look for Barry Church.
It sound good. It sound good.
Yes. So the Cowboys moving on to face the San Francisco 49ers at 5:30 p.m. on Fox.
Right.
And 49ers have stalled as 3.5-point favorites at home. Locker room was open today. I talked to C.J. Goodwin.
Thank you.
And
what you asked him about.
And then everyone else followed me. So I led a contingent of media from Dallas-Fort Worth over to C.J. Goodwin, special teams ace.
Thank you, bro.
Okay.
Thank you for showing the special teams some love. Because, this is what I told Hick yesterday. This is what happens. Kicker go out there and miss 4, then people say special teams played bad.
Yeah.
And that ain't true. It ain't. CJ, he don't kick the ball. He is not even on field goal team.
Got Fossil doing the
And them
interviews.
them dudes went
Fossil
out there.
out front and center.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
because one dude played bad, that don't mean the whole entire special teams unit played bad. Yeah. CJ and them, they went out there and did what they were supposed to do, man. They set the tone. They made some tackles. They did their job.
now, in fairness, Fossil talks every week.
Right.
You just normally don't care. There's so it'll start off being DQ, Kellen, and then Fossil. And then the room of media dwindles down as it changes. But Fossil talks every week. Brian Anger, for the first time since I was in the locker room this year covering the team during the week, got play. People wouldn't talk to Anger. And they started off with somebody started off with some real little softball question that nobody cared about. So how do you feel going into this game? Nobody cared how you felt. It was all about, come on now, let's get on.
They're just warming them up, massaging.
Here's the appetizer.
When did it finally get out there? How was it questioned?
Question 2 is when we got to the operation, about things. And so Brian Anger, the punter who's a holder for Brett Maher, had his back. C.J. Goodwin, when I spoke to him, C.J. had Maher's back here. So, and I give Dak a lot of credit. I mean, first off, the PR department here is really good because somebody got to Dak Prescott really quick after the game to let him know, hey, man, they got you on camera, talk about, next time go for 2. So he addressed how, hey, I'm behind Maher 100%. Last week I was SE in Washington, so, he'll be okay. Smart. Way to cover it up, and then somebody let him know this was on camera. You may be asked, and that's what a good public relations department does do. They let you know, hey man, you got caught, and you may not have thought, but this is what was, and so I just you guys understand this. People seem to think like you could just go pull dudes off the street who hadn't been doing anything all year, just plug him in this time. He's like, that doesn't work, right?
How can you? How can you think this? How hard was it for us to find a kicker this year? From training camp and all that, how many we brought guys in?
Was it Haralahu? Is a kid from Texas Tech? What was his name? God, I just got it. Garibay. Yes, Garibay.
And Maher got released prior to even coming back here. Right. Now the guy had an outstanding season to me. He had an outstanding season. He went out there and performed his ass off. He had a bad game. All right. He finished it off by hitting one, which to me I thought was a huge deal because it gave him the belief to me that he could make one. Because I think it's somewhere along the line, he was like, man, I might not make another kick in my life. And say what you want about getting that confidence and all the other stuff, I think it helped him by hitting that final kick. So he had a bad game. I think they're making the right choice by staying here because they bring another guy in here who stink up the joint. Then what you got?
Look, I think for look, man, when you read any books about Fortune 100 companies and how they achieve success, it's all in the decision making. And you got to archive your decisions, good and bad. Now, this may be a bad decision. We may come back to this next week and go, boy, we should have been trying out everybody that had a right foot and left foot between here and 75. It wouldn't matter, man. We need to be guaranteed that we can make our PATs. Every time Dak goes out, this offense goes out, you may not have the opportunity to be up 28-0, supposedly, if you hit all those PATs by halftime. Mm-hmm. We know the margin for victory. We talked about this yesterday. Margin for victory in the NFL is 2-3 points. So when we go to Levi Stadium, we got to know if we got a 50-yarder, that confidence level that you used to have in Maher is not the same. It's not the same. And you want to see him make one of those field goals, but your trust. PATs are, I'm talking about anything at this point. He missed 4 in a row. I'm talking about something to give him the confidence and you the confidence that he can actually get this done, because you know in a game such as this, it may come down to his ability to get one through.
Hey, man, he made the fifth.
No, hold on.
Made the fifth.
See, because I'm going to play, devil's advocate, whatever you want to call it, all right? The man who leads the league, who led the league in interceptions this year, said, I played like crap in the prior week, so I have faith in him because I understand that. I'm throwing pick sixes all the time. We came on here and said we got faith in Dak Prescott because we've seen him do it before. He's proved to us that he can be a capable quarterback that has the talent to go out there and win you the game.
You baiting me.
Maher,
you baiting me right now.
Hold on. Throughout 17 games this season, has Maher proven that he can be a good field goal kicker and PAT maker?
He's made 29 of 32 field goals, and when it comes to point after attempts, he made 50 of 53.
Yeah. And I agree. Let me agree with you on that. But also say that obviously you know that these are two separate positions, that the pressure is completely different from kicker to quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. I'm just saying we watched the man have a colossal meltdown. And that fifth one that you're talking about, the visualization for him to see that go through, I think may have done something for him. I want to believe that he's all right. I like the way that they're going about it. Don't talk to him about it. Leave him alone. Let him work through it mentally, because we know this is a mental thing. It's obviously not – he's not hurting. There's no injury. I don't see him on the injury report. His field goal, not even his kickoffs were struggling. I think in the second half, he didn't get one touchback on his kick. So, look, I don't know if that was by design. I don't know. But, again, here's Fossil having to answer questions about your kicker going into the second round of the playoffs, and I'm sure they're not comfortable about that.
Raise my hand. Remember last year, I was on Fossil before the playoff game about Greg Zuerlein. Mm-hmm. Greg Zuerlein was terrible last year. And he was like, basically said, we hope he's going to be all right. I'm like, what you talking about hope?
Remember, you were upset, though, because there was no competition for the guy.
Right.
As well. So that built on to the fact that,
Yeah, so the whole thing is he kept putting his all the eggs in the basket of this dude. I was like, man, what are we doing here? And he wasn't the reason they lost that playoff game, but we've seen he was shaky all year long. Playoff game, he was fine. But I just kind of come back into this. He has earned the benefit of the doubt. And that's what you're doing right now. He's earned the benefit of the doubt. And going out and getting someone, I haven't heard anyone here feel confident about or just come out and say, this is what we need to do. McCarthy was very adamant after the game. Nah, he's our guy. He'll be okay. And I just don't know where you go right now and pull somebody off the street to come and kick field goals that you can say, well, I got confidence he'll get this right for PATs. You probably will need a 50-yarder to beat the 49ers. That's one thing this dude, even when he was bad here the first time around, dude specialized in nailing those. He can nail those. So
where's your confidence level, Nui, right now? Where's your confidence level in him going into San Fran? What's your confidence level in Maher after what you saw?
I'm more confident watching Brett Maher go out there kick a PAT than I am watching number one out here go out to cover Brandon Ayuk.
Absolutely. Absolutely, but that doesn't tell me what your level is. 1 to 10.
That's not.
Thank you.
It's not very high.
Thank you so much, Nui. But please,
I'm 7. I'm a 7.5, 8. That's how confident I am in Maher right now.
I'm there.
I really think this was one of those. Hey man, the dude had a bad game. We've seen this happen to kickers before, not to the extent that we've seen them where they missed 4 in a row, but we've seen guys. I love Dan Bailey. Dan Bailey fell off really quickly. Like you can have those type of issues and then you can snap back it's like a shooter for them. I don't know. Like sometimes you just not hitting it. And thankfully he wasn't hitting it 1 on PATs and 2 in the game where the offense was playing lights out. So pressure a little lower. I think him seeing that, him taking his medicine, his players having his back, them keeping him on the team, I think that is helping him I guess get that confidence back that he lost throughout those 4 misses. I don't think he'll be all right in San Francisco. He might hit the game winner for you. Heck.
So I was doing a radio interview in D.C. and I said on the show, I actually hope he gets to kick a long one before they score a touchdown because I think that'll get him going. Because we know he hits them long. That's what this guy is really good from long distance, and I think if he knocks out a field goal. And before they score a touchdown or whatnot, then boom, a PAT should be just fine for him. But I'm going to go back and rely on what he's done before, and that you can have a bad game. Fans don't always you ain't gonna play 17 great games.
Yeah,
no one is. No one's gonna have 17 great games, and my concern for him is a lot less than the concern I had for Dak Prescott going into this game for the role he had been on. Like, man, please, bro, please. I didn't see 5 touchdowns, but he got it right. So that's in some ways we're hoping, but we talk about trust, time, proof, and consistency. This season he's done that because I raised my hand as one of the people when I saw him come out there at Oxnard, I'm like, really? Again?
Yeah.
Did we not remember the last time? And then I was one of those who were asking him questions. So what makes it different this time around? What did you learn in New Orleans that is going to make you better here? Guy answered all the questions, understood the questions and why we were asking them, and the guy went out there and did it. After the game, whole lot of credit I give Brett Maher. Showed up, answered the questions. There's a wave. Then he thought he was done. Then another wave of people came through because at a playoff game like this, especially with Tom Brady, you get a lot of media from across the country that want to come in. Answered questions again. So, give him the benefit of the doubt because that's what so much of this is about here, man. You've been doing it all year. You had a bad game. Can you come back and get something done? I remember Dalton Schultz. I can't remember what game it was. He had a bad game. He came back the next one. Ended up with what I say it was 2 touchdowns, Tennessee. Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm going to lean on. Is it? And Danny, you played in this game, so you've seen guys have issues. I remember Turpin dropped. That game Turpin went out there and fumbled. So what you doing, Turp? Next game. Came back and had a good one, but you're going to have these.
I've seen guys drop multiple punt return attempts. I've seen guys miss multiple kicks. I've seen sometimes you have that issue, and specifically with kickers because I said they're like basketball players. Like you see it go through all the time, and then that one time you don't see it go through, you're trying to figure out what you did wrong, and then you overcompensate here. If it went to the right, and now it goes to the left, and now you in your head, and then you just need that ability to step back. You won the game, so now you have the time, the opportunity to then go back and correct yourself, which a lot of people don't get. And I think right now, like I said, he's taking his medicine and he's kicking.
That's a great comparison.
He's kicking.
That really is. That's a great comparison when you put basketball into it because it can be said the same for great shooters that can't shoot free throws. What's the difference? You can shoot a 3, but you can't shoot a free throw. Don't make sense, right? It's just one of those. It's one of those stupid problems to have right now at the end of the season. It's a dumb.
It's not ideal.
It's a dumb problem.
It's not ideal.
I used to think about like guys like LP Ladouceur. The one thing you love about LP Ladouceur that he was consistent and you didn't talk about him.
100%.
You did. He was consistent. You didn't have to talk about him because he did his job. But guess what happens when you move on from your long snapper and you start having issues with your long snapper? Then everybody's, what are you doing? You got a whole line out there of people trying out for the long snapper position. That's a stupid problem to have at this point. I know no one could have predicted that Brett Maher would go into this contest and have a meltdown. I'm just saying right now, I don't want to talk about Brett Maher. I want to feel like Brett Maher can do what he's been doing.
Man, that's
You guys
just so
know who
crazy.
you guys know who the long snapper is?
It ain't LP.
He must be pretty good because I ain't talking about him.
It's Matt Overton.
Matt Overton, okay.
Here's why. I ain't gonna lie to you. I didn't know until after the game because I felt bad because as Maher was doing the interviews, my man was trying to change, trying to zip up, put
Right
on
next
school.
to him.
Wasn't just right there, but all over. I mean, they just boxed this man in, and you could tell he was being patient, and so I mean, really, the man got
The
trapped.
media was standing on his stuff because I'm sitting right there. I was like, come on.
Hey, y'all can't be disrespectful in that way, bro. Because I sit next to church, so I often had the same issue of so I got to pull up a chair. I can't even sit in my locker, and they don't care either. They look at you like they not in your space.
Wow.
Nui, y'all.
See, once again, I'm glad you've addressed that because I wasn't there.
I'm just talking about
I was there, but I was not there in his space. And then after everyone left, and then he was able to get out, I did go up to him and said, "Thank you for your patience."
That's nice of you, bro.
Because it was that whole sense of, okay, this is what I do for a living. You guys all of a sudden you stepping on me, you're in the way and box me in. Nobody said excuse me. Or I'm sorry. It was just like
Stepping on your suit jacket, your
And-
shoes, all that.
No,
Just broke your phone.
Well, luckily he didn't have a suit. They were dressed. They were for the
No,
play
I'm just
fight
saying,
back.
this
But-
ain't the only time it happened. People be wearing suits, y'all be stepping all over.
Hey, once again, I am very cautious of that. I'm very cautious of that. And if I do, I always try to make sure excuse me, I'm sorry, because it's insulting.
Yeah.
Okay, it's insulting for that person that's there. So I do try to make sure I'm very, very cautious of that because, look, one day somebody gonna say something to you. And I remember we were talking to Trayvon Diggs after the because I went to after the Green Bay game. We're talking to Trayvon Diggs and Anthony Brown. After he left with the concussion, he was there sitting with his head down. He was right next to Trey. And I was behind him on the side of him trying to make sure I didn't hit him. And he looked up when I asked some question he didn't like. He looked up like, what are you asking that for? That's the kind of look he had. Part of me wanted to say, I thought you was concussed.
Come on, man.
You
He can't hear.
You heard that, understood that, right? But I'm like, nah, I'm just shit on that.
That's not a symptom of a concussion, bro. You don't understand.
It wasn't a stupid question, though. Like, you look at me like it was a dumb question. That's a legitimate question.
I'm just giving back. Hey, man, just give my heart the same grace you gave Dak.
But at the same time, the thing is, when you're in there, man, some people don't care. I actually do care about stepping on people, being in their private spaces, because one day somebody gonna, I don't want to be that guy that gets caught.
That's what the 10 Emmys are for, man.
But look, I do think there's a courtesy, some home training and manners is what we used to call them growing up back in the day.
Look,
For us old school guys, that's what you call home training and manners.
Yeah, for sure.
And so I try. You youngsters today don't feel like that, but I still have that feeling of
Who the hell you think they got it from? Ain't nothing but old school guys in doing the interview, stepping on folks' jackets.
So here's the thing, and this is where you're wrong.
When I was in there,
and well, let me tell you, this is the part of, and Chris Beam, you can attest to this. What happens when you get to the playoffs, especially with the Cowboys, there's a whole bunch of new folks who run up in here who haven't been around, and then there's a lot of like NFL films, ESPN people. There's folks who they got all these different, they trying to get stuff and they ain't really looking around. Then you got other dudes who got these long mic cables and stuff. I mean, it gets really hectic. And then you got the visiting folks who just come in there and just don't care because they leaving. They don't care how they treat people, what they're doing. So it becomes a whole group of new folks and you're just like, okay, you're here. Who are you? And how you bogarting what we try to do. So it's different. It's different. So we're going to see a different set. There's going to be a whole lot more people out there in Santa Clara for this game that we haven't seen. Somebody gonna say something crazy.
I don't want to see you on the news, okay? I don't want to see you on the news out there getting pushed on and beat on.
He works
you
in the
stepped on
news.
somebody's stuff. No. I don't want to see him be a news story.
Okay, that's better.
The guy, old reporter from Texas. They came over here. Didn't make it back to. Didn't make it back on the flight.
Been doing it here for 23 years. So I actually, I mean, better than most people. I will pat myself on. I do know how to work a locker room.
Yeah.
I know how to work a locker room very well. So what Dalton Schultz told us, no, we moved on real quick, moved to other places. The only thing I didn't get Sunday that I wanted was Jerry Jones. It's the only thing. And I wish I'd gone back because I didn't know Jerry. Boy, Jerry, nobody did more interviews and did longer interviews than Jerry after that. Jerry was happy.
Why wouldn't he be?
I mean, I should have went and got myself a one-on-one sit-down with Jerry. He was so happy to talk.
He's in a given mood.
Man, this man was as happy as you could be. I guess, he had been there he hadn't seen one of them in 30 years. So my man was more than happy to say, pull up a chair.
He saw this. I'm not gonna bring it. He saw the same game we saw the previous week. Sorry, Hick. I'm not.
No,
I'm done.
No. Please. By all means.
All right, let's go. Let's go to break. Let's go to break.
We're going to break.
We are late. Hackman, you can do it now.
No, we're going to break. That's it.
Players Lounge brought to you by Tostitos right here on DallasCowboys.com radio.
With Smoothie King's original Angel Food and new Angel Food Slim without added sugar, you no longer have to choose between treating yourself and hitting your goals this summer. You don't have to choose between great taste and feeling great. Because at Smoothie King, every blend is made with whole fruits and no syrups, so you can satisfy your cravings without compromise. The only choice you will need to make is which one is best for you. Try our classic Angel Food or the new Angel Food Slim, blended without added sugar. Smoothie King. Rule the day.
Attention Cowboys fans looking for the best shave of your life. There's a new official razor of the Dallas Cowboys, Shave Logic. Imagine not having to buy blades as often and getting more smooth shaves than your old razor, guaranteed or your money back. After more than 10 years of research and over 150 company patents, Shave Logic is proud to offer Cowboys fans a special offer. For a limited time, visit shavelogic.com and get a free $10 gift card with your purchase. Go to shavelogic.com now for more smooth shaves guaranteed.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. You hear that? I'm a torrential downpour. Torrential? What's that even mean? It means you can't see out of your windshield. And if you have the wrong car insurance, you might have to make it rain to fix your bumper. So switch to Allstate, save money, and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Based on coverage and limits selected, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Allstate Bar and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
And they snap it to Prescott, who looks right. It's not there. He escapes left. He'll run for a first down.
Just like football, when it comes to crypto, it's important to have a team you can trust. With blockchain.com, I know I'm in good hands. Since 2011, they've been trusted by millions around the world to buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrency.
Prescott's going to run this himself. Run it up the middle, and he scores.
Whether you're new to crypto or an active trader, they've got you covered. What are you waiting for? Get started at blockchain.com.
Back to the Players Lounge.
As the boys are striving for greatness, do the same with a Dallas Cowboys jersey. Get your hands on premium gear at the nearest Dallas Cowboy Pro Shop or log on to shop.dallascowboys.com, a Fanatics experience, and level up your game day look for the NFC Conference Championships.
Players Lounge brought to you by Tostitos. By the way, make sure you follow the show on Twitter. Listen to us on all those Spotify, anyway, wherever you get your podcast at, make sure you got the Players Lounge locked in there. He's Hackman Harrison. That's Danny McCray, who played for the Cowboys. I'm Dewey Scruggs. All right, I was in the locker room today, and we got some offensive linemen in there. So talked to Connor McGovern, talked to center Tyler Biadasz. We talked to left tackle / guard Tyler Smith. And I don't know if you all talked about it yesterday when I was out. I was so impressed that when Jason Peters got hurt, they made the changes. Yep. And you did not notice it, which is a testament to the linemen of knowing their assignments. It's a testament to the coaching staff for making sure they put these guys in different positions. And I know at times we talked about, hey, man, I don't like all this switching in the game. Boy, did it pay off when Peters went out. They had to bring Connor McGovern in and kick Tyler Smith from left guard to left tackle. They were able to keep playing good football, did not lose steam.
No, it was seamless. It was seamless, and for a rookie to be able to do that, he's been doing it since the beginning of the year. So I'm sure they are proud of him. He may not win any Rookie of the Year or get anything other than around here, but he's done a marvelous job. I talked last week about some of his toughest tests that he's had this season, and it's been versus some of the best guys in the NFL. But since then, he hadn't really struggled. He definitely hadn't been someone that you're calling out his name. I think what you see in 73 is him being able to get to the second level and mow guys down. His mobility is likened to your LSU compadre, the same. I mean, they kind of have some of that same meanness and mobility to their game. This week is different, though. I mean, it's going to be a challenge because of the way that they use Bosa. Bosa is, you know that meme they have where they say like they have a picture of Micah and then they have greater than, Bosa. This is one of those guys that's interchangeable when you look at their game. Bosa's bigger, obviously, more powerful, but he has the same dimension to his game. He makes everybody on the defensive line good. And the last time,
Defensive Player of the Year,
all of that. And the thing about him that really, when I just going back to last year's playoff loss, that's the first time that I'd seen. Well, not the first time, but Zach Martin, he didn't have his best reps in that game, and number 97 was the reason for a lot of it too. That's a smart defense, and we're going to need our offensive line to be fortified in this game. They're going to have to provide some time for Dak to be able to pass, and they got their work cut out for him because their defensive coordinator, obviously, man, one of the smart guys in the league, was a hell of a linebacker when he played, but he has a smart team. And when I look at them on film, up front, in the trenches, I don't see a lot of weakness.
Yeah, I think, we got our work cut out for us. But Tyler Smith, back to him, man, how valuable is the guy? When you draft him in the first round, you think about him being a replacement for Tyron Smith, not knowing that you might have to have him play left tackle in this season, move back to left guard, and then back to left tackle when somebody else gets hurt. And he's been doing it seamlessly to where he's not a weak point. He's a strong point. He's fast. He's strong. He's nasty. Everything you want out of your offensive lineman. Dude is just super valuable, and it's a great pick. So I was very impressed with him. You know, I've been on here talking about we need to get an offensive lineman for the last few years, and I'm glad that we.
I was just ready to give you your props.
Hey,
about
man,
that.
Listen, if it had to wait for a guy like this, then okay, all right. Well, we got us a first rounder. He can do everything that we need him to do, including move from guard to tackle. You might be able to move right side if you need him to. So
I was gonna say, can you now officially retire Rashawn Slater from your vocabulary?
He's still good, but yeah, I thought why we need him? We got Tyler Smith
and Michael Parsons
and Michael Parsons. We got them both.
You won. Back-to-back years, you won. You won on that. So it took they went a long way home, but they did eventually get what you wanted. So they got what they satisfied what you wanted. They didn't do it the way you wanted to, but they eventually went over the river, through the woods, and they landed on it. Okay. They landed on it.
It's a hell of a trail.
Right.
It's a long way.
It was the long way home. It was the long way home, but it got there. This is a different beast. I mean, there's when you talk about just guys who disrupt games, number 97, Nick Bosa, is something to worry about. I was asking Cooper Rush. Went and talked to Cooper Rush today.
You did, man. You're on, ain't he? Now, why you talk to him?
Well,
I gotta know because I know you were at home like, man, people I need to talk to.
That shade.
No, I gotta know. I want to know.
Why you talking to him, Louis?
This is good. So. Our cameras were done. We were basically, it was about maybe 5 or 6 minutes left, and I was done with interviews.
So it was the end of it, okay.
And my guy for Telemundo wanted the microphone to go because we share the cameraman. So he was getting some stuff done. I saw Cooper, and I wanted to go over, and I just said, as a quarterback, how do you take last week's performance into this week? And then I started asking him about, when you, as a quarterback, you come up here, you come out the huddle, tell me what you're looking for. And he's like, obviously, you're checking for 97. And so I just asked him questions about, what they do best, how do you go after? It was knowing. At first, he's a backup who's been in the league, so he's a smart guy. And you just kind of pick his brain. Just tell me what you're thinking and what you're seeing here. And of course, with no cameras, he's going to be freer to just let go and let it flow and talk to you. So, it was.
Would you have rather had that conversation with Dak off camera?
Here's the difference. And something like that. It's like talking to an assistant coach versus the head coach. Talking to the backup quarterback, he's going to be a little bit more looser. he ain't expected to play. Just my thoughts, what I see. It's kind of when you're talking to an assistant coach. They're going to be a little bit looser in what they say, and they more so than the head coach. I wasn't there with my recorder or taking it down. Let me pick your brain. As a lay person, let me pick your brain and tell me some things that they do. And one of the things he says, hey, look, they're not a complex defense. Tampa's complex. They're not as complex. And he said they don't have to be because they got some dudes. They are some really good players. It's just simple. Hey man, if I got Joe Green up front, I don't need to come up with too many crazy things. He's just gonna sit there and whoop you, and they are the four, go get after your four. If you got Randy White, you try to beat the Manster. So that's they got 97. They got some good dudes up front here, and they're Armstead, and so they're gonna do what they do, and you got to figure out how to stop them. But yes, I wanted to just talk to him because I wanted to have a conversation with a guy who's smart and possibly come his last weeks here with the team. And talk to him like, hey man, don't forget me when you're gone. Get your contract.
Check him out, man. That's why he got them Emmys.
There's no doubt.
When he started
off with CJ Goodwin. What I'm saying? Figure out a little bit about
the
special
great.
teams. Went on over to Cooper Rush, and the reason that you gave it, that's outstanding.
How about that? You got insight now on what the San Francisco 49ers defense is going to do, and in that case, with what he enlightened you in the information he gave you. Where do you see a mismatch for the Cowboys versus this 49ers defense?
Heck, it's just going to be about, and I give Tyler and McGovern credit when they spoke about it. It's just really about you got to just do your assignment.
Right.
Don't make this thing bigger than it is. Just do your job. And I go back into last year. And I can't remember which one I talked to about it, but they said, it was Cooper. He said, we shot ourselves, because I said, what makes it different from this year? Like I said, we just shot ourselves in the foot so much. Yeah. False start penalties. Now you're 3rd and 15. They did so much to make it hard on themselves, and still, with 3 minutes to go, had the football with an opportunity to win the game. Well, what if you clean up those mistakes? And what was it, 15 penalties in that game, something like
Crazy.
that? Versus 2 last week. You do this kind of stuff. It is not a far-fetched, crazy idea that they can't go out here and win the football game in San Francisco. It's just not. I was talking to my boss. And he said to me, so my boss John Stone will always say to me, can they win? Because he's thinking about the budget. Because if they win, do I have to go send you guys to Philadelphia? How much more is it going to cost me? It was like the TCU-Michigan game. I told him I was like, they play in Los Angeles the next week. And I'm just letting you know, TCU can win this game. And he looked at me, he was like, yeah, I know. And then, of course, we had to go to Los Angeles next week. So he asked me, can they win this game? I said, John, they can win this game. Because as bad as they played last year, and Lord knows, they were bad in that wild card game. They could have won the game.
Yeah, man. Here we go. See, that's that behavior right there, bro.
So let me
last year does not matter. That San Francisco team from this year is better than that San Francisco team from last year.
Let's take a break right here on the Players Lounge with Heckma Harrison, Danny McCray, and Newey Scruggs.
It's all green down there,
It's all green.
On DallasCowboys.com radio.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. You hear that? I'm a torrential downpour. Torrential? What's that even mean? It means you can't see out of your windshield. And if you have the wrong car insurance, you might have to make it rain to fix your bumper. So switch to Allstate, save money, and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Based on coverage and limits selected, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Allstate Bar and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
And they snap it to Prescott, who looks right. It's not there. He escapes left. He'll run for a first down.
Just like football, when it comes to crypto, it's important to have a team you can trust. With blockchain.com, I know I'm in good hands. Since 2011, they've been trusted by millions around the world to buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrency.
Prescott's going to run this himself. Run it up the middle, and he scores.
Whether you're new to crypto or an active trader, they've got you covered. What are you waiting for? Get started at blockchain.com.
Want to use what the pros use? How about the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys? Jack Black. Right now, you can get the Jack Black Starter, a curated collection of Cowboys locker room favorites for just $10 with free shipping. The starter includes 4 Jack Black skincare favorites, plus a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Go to getjackblack.com/Cowboys and use the code word TEAMJB. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys. The Jack Black Starter, $10, free shipping.
With Smoothie King's original Angel Food and new Angel Food Slim without added sugar, you no longer have to choose between treating yourself and hitting your goals this summer. You don't have to choose between great taste and feeling great. Because at Smoothie King, every blend is made with whole fruits and no syrups, so you can satisfy your cravings without compromise. The only choice you will need to make is which one is best for you. Try our classic Angel Food or the new Angel Food Slim, blended without added sugar. Smoothie King, rule the day.
Back to the Players Lounge.
The Dallas Cowboys are headed to Santa Clara to take on the San Francisco 49ers in a divisional round of the 2022 NFL playoffs. Come out to Miller Lite House at AT&T Stadium for free. Divisional watch party on Sunday, January 22nd. Cheer on the boys alongside the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders, rowdy while enjoying $5 Miller Lites, lawn games, food trucks, and more. Gates open at 4 p.m. and kickoff is at 5:30. For more information, visit DallasCowboys.com/playoffs. Go Cowboys.
Heckler Harrison. Danny McCray. I'm New East Scruggs Players Lounge, brought to you by Tostitos.
They were off the chain at the Miller Lite House last week.
Boy,
that's how you show up right there. That's the watch party
They
right
kept
there.
cutting back to it on the
Boy,
TV.
look,
Man, all them
that's
folks
how you do it, Cowboy Nation.
Tell you what, man, they were all up in the hotel too, man, where I was at. Again, nothing like Jacksonville, though. Jacksonville was different. They went and set up in the lobby, made their own bar, brought their own boom box. Yeah. It was
How
lit.
about that?
It was lit with Tampa. They showed up, man.
Not the boom box. I wonder what San Francisco going to have for us, man. You think they bringing out the Super Gremlin in the boom box again?
That's their thing. They always do the boom box.
They got to bring the boom box out?
No, they do it.
That's their swag, huh?
Yeah, they do it for all the walkers. It's swaggy, too.
That's swag, huh?
I can't wait to get out there. That's my town, baby. I love me.
It's swaggy, too. Listen, I told Heck, one, because I'm not going to be here tomorrow, Friday. What I told Heck was I needed to get off the high of winning so easily against Tampa. Before, hold on. Yeah, before I step back. Nah, he asked me if I was gonna pick the Cowboys to beat the 49ers yesterday. I was like, well, of course yesterday I would have to after that. So I need to step back, process what happened, and then talk realistically. All right. So I wasn't gonna be like church, and I wasn't gonna pick against the Cowboys. But before the show's over, I'll give you my. We still got 8 minutes. Before the show's over, I give you my.
I'm waiting.
But I'll say this though: what makes me feel better, on top of the fact that we played Tampa the way that we played Tampa,
what makes you feel better
is that you look at the schedule and you see the teams that San Francisco has beaten.
Okay.
And how they look against these teams, and the teams are not very good.
Wait
They're
a
not very good.
What did you just say? Are you doing a body of work on the San Francisco 49ers and looking at the schedule and saying that they didn't? Is this the last 10 games, 8 games? No, I am happy right now.
No, hold on.
My heart is jumping out of my chest. This is awesome, dog.
I would advise you to relax then. because on that schedule is a Washington Commanders team who we got beat by 25.
No. We're not talking about us. We're talking about them.
No. So we're talking about body of work. The reason I feel better about it, one, is because the teams that they have beaten, not very good record-wise, all right? We didn't play that well against the teams that we should have blown out either. Well, actually, not either, but we didn't play that well against them. If the team that shows up against Tampa shows up against San Francisco where you do what you're supposed to do to teams that you are better than, then our shot at winning is much higher, all right? And Newey's waiting for me to make my pick.
So I don't want to assume anything, but what I'm hearing you say is that they got a bunch of wins versus teams that were subpar.
They beat the teams they were supposed to beat,
right?
Unlike us. So that's why you could be down on us and high on them. 28-24, Dallas Cowboys.
Man, yeah, You can go through all of that.
What?
So, wait a minute. How do they get 28 points? How do they get there? How do they get there? Can you give me a roadmap to how they get there? You throw it out, just how do they get there? Is it running the ball? Is it passing? Where does it happen?
You got to let me say it, bro.
Okay.
The advantage that I think that we have in this game is that people sometimes are forgetting that Purdy is a third-string quarterback. Yeah. Okay? And I think if our defense is hitting on all cylinders like they should be, building off the momentum of this past game, then we should force him into making some mistakes. Yeah. So not saying our defense is going to score, but they will put us in position to score. I think we'll get a couple short fields, and I think that's how we'll make it happen. Dalton Schultz get another tug. I don't know if our running game is going to be, but as long as Kellen sticks to it and makes them respect the fact that we are not going away from running the ball, even if we only get 2-3 yards a carry, stick to it and make them respect the fact that you will do it, I think we'll be okay, 28-24. I think, they're going to be able to run the ball. I think, our defense, once again, is going to come up with a stop when they need to, like I said last week, and what happened in the end zone.
Yeah. They got
Curse
one.
Gets it.
That interception.
So
red zone.
28-24.
Something that Tom Brady does not do. He did.
Well, you knew he was going to do it once you watching the broadcast. And then, man, they put the stats up there and everything. This year, that
jinx his own once he did that.
Oh, man. It was like,
he's an 85% free throw shooter. He never misses. Clank.
Bro. And it was the worst interception you probably ever seen Tom Brady.
That was bad. No, that was bad. That's the first time I watched Tom that I said, damn, Tom. Damn, that looked bad. He was throwing them ground balls. Tom didn't want no smoke. He didn't want no grease. He don't want nothing.
Hey, don't steal my score either, bro, because I know you got to put yours in the newspaper for tomorrow.
When you put yours in?
I already did the paper.
Okay, what you got?
I already did the
paper.
What you said? I didn't have to give a score in the paper.
What did you say, though?
He picked San Fran.
What you say?
By the way, I was 5-1 last week.
He picked San Fran.
What did you say? Who did you pick? No, Nui. Who you pick, Nui?
I'm on a roll, baby. I'm not going to stop.
Who did you pick? Nui, don't make me look it up, dog.
It's not in there yet. It's not in there.
Oh, so we got to wait. We got to wait.
So it's in. So basically, they tell us you have to put it in by like the end of, what's today?
You going to say Wednesday.
So I had to have it in by the end of business day, but I knocked it out yesterday. And so like Calvin Watkins and Michael Gelkin and Tim Couch, all these other people still haven't put theirs in. But I already put mine in. I already went in there.
All the years.
You picked San Fran?
No.
Okay, all right.
No.
So it's going to be church by itself again? Okay.
How you know I ain't picking them? No, you know.
18 times he'd have picked the Cowboys.
Exactly.
Come on.
You are consistent.
I am. Very much so. Time consistency improve.
Yeah.
You better trust what I'm going to do.
Oh, we do.
Trust what I'm going to do. Pick my boys.
One of the
Hope
things.
is not a strategy either.
That I did.
Hope's not a strategy.
Hope's not a strategy. No, it is not. We learned that in business school. So it is not. And so did McCray over here. I am a person, and I go back to last week. Remember, I know you kind of looked at me cross-eyed when I just said, when we talk bad about these guys, and that my just hope was that they were going to just have a sense of pride and just respond. They've heard what people have said about them all week long, and they went out to play the game. And now these guys have carried training camp. I was out there. They were carrying that loss. I mean, look, everybody took ample time to kick them after that loss. I mean, the owner was so mad, he basically put McCarthy's job out there for a minute. He was so mad. They're still walking around with that. McGovern tried to say no. Biotish was like, we just got to think about this week. But it's there. And Dak just rolled off his tongue right after the game in the press conference. We were talking about him. They haven't forgotten. And then Dak said and I wanted to talk to Tank today, but he ran out on him, so I'll talk tomorrow. Okay. And he will, but still you hate it. It's like, man, you're right here, bro. Let's get on. Let's just want to get on that way. It's Wednesday. It's a lesser crowd. Going to be more people tomorrow. But Tank said, this is the way it's supposed to be. We get Tampa first. Start the last 2 years. Tampa went in there and beat you, so boom, you got them in the playoffs. And now you get San Francisco, the team that took you out. So you could conceivably go Tampa, San Francisco, may line up for you that you get to face the Eagles. So, the hard road, this is what they feel like it can be. Let's see what it is. But I do believe with you, and I did say that to the guys in D.C., at some point in time, Brock Purdy being a rookie will show up. I don't, is it this week? Is it whenever? I just don't believe the 49ers are going to host the Lombardi Trophy with a rookie quarterback. I just don't. As great as Kyle Shanahan is at putting quarterbacks in a position to play, I mean, the guy made Kirk Cousins look good. He's good. At some point in time, that will catch up. And I asked J-Ron Curse this, and he kind of came back and played devil's advocate. I said, Dan Quinn does know Kyle Shanahan. He's like, well, Kyle Shanahan knows him. At this time of the year, it's not so much about schemes. It's, hey, this is my man. This is my job. I do my job, and I win that battle. But I do think and do wonder about, if there is something to be said for people who you've been with, that you have a little bit of an understanding and knowing their tendencies and what they like to do. They both know each other. We saw what happened last year when they faced each other. But defensively, that game wasn't lost defensively of Dan Quinn's guys last year. It was lost because offensively they kept shooting themselves in the foot. 23. If San Francisco just scores 23 points, Cowboys can win this game. If that's all they go, if that's all, I just think if this defense holds to 23 points, they'll win the game and probably hold them to under. I think it's going to be a tough football game.
Yeah, and the weird thing to me is that maybe it's not a foregone conclusion that the Cowboys can pull out a victory on Sunday. Maybe a lot of other people don't believe that. At some point, even last week, no one even said the Cowboys have the better team, more talented team. But there was this hocus pocus with Tom and never beating Tom, all that. All the records be damned at this point in the season. The 49ers do have a way better team than the one that we faced last week. It's going to be a much formidable opponent that we face this week. Everything that you just outlined and you outlined about the way that we get this done, it has to be there. Kellen Moore is going to have to call a very tight offensive game plan versus D'Amico Ryans. And that's, for me, that is what I want to see. The chess game that's going to happen, because the familiarity between the defensive coordinator and the head coach, I think that's going to take a shape all on its own anyway.
Don't beat yourself. 2 penalties last week. Two. If you can repeat that kind of performance and you go out there play your game and you don't shoot yourselves in the foot,
right,
this can be the kind of football team that we've all hoped they would be. As we saw last week, there was the hope. And, hey, guess what? If you get out your own way and you commit to running the football, wow, magically, what could happen? That's why I kept asking different guys, how do you take that performance last week and do it again?
You're going to Philly, man, and when you go to Philly, pick up them tasty cakes and bring them back.
It's going to be here, bro.
It's going to be here. Hey, get the tasty cakes and bring the tasty cakes back with you.
Don't sleep on Big Blue. Don't sleep on Big Blue.
I wanted to be here.
It's going to be here.
Don't sleep on Big Blue. Don't sleep on it. You're going to be in the building. Could you imagine? Heckman Harris in the building for NFC Championship game. Well, you lose your mind.
You know it, man.
Lose your mind.
Oh, Lord, that'll be so good.
All right, I need to get you guys out of here because I got the media mash coming up at the top of the hour.
Yeah, he just got back. Going to kick us out.
That's right.
Now, you gone. You're going to be gone, right?
You just live here.
I'll see you tomorrow. Oh, I won't.
You won't. Hey, I'm going to a wedding. You know what I'm saying? My college roommate is getting married, so I'm going to go show my love and respect to his union, to his new bride. So, yes, I won't be here.
Heck, I'm out Friday, too.
Okay, well, you know what I'm going to do.
I got school.
You know what I'm going to do. I'm going to hold it down. Yeah, me and BC, and we may have a special guest. But
bring in a DLC again. Well, you wrong for that, man.
We may have to call him.
Wrong. I was
going to bring Zeke Stat and the DLC.
No. I was in class watching it, man. I was in class watching it. I was like, that's dirty. One of my all-time favorites.
Surprise.
Okay. All right. Players Lounge. We'll talk to you tomorrow right here on DallasCowboys.com radio.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!